We'll have Coach McCaffery, Luca Garza, Jordan Bohannon on the Zoom call here in a few minutes. This is being streamed live on YouTube, just a heads up. There will be no transcript of today's press conference. We'll be starting here in about 3-4 minutes.
Hey, Matt, can we get the ability to record?
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
Gotcha.
Got it?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to start with Luca Garza. If you have a question for Luca, raise your hand in the participant window. Anybody have a question for Luca? Scott Docterman.
Yeah, Luca, I mean, to go through what you guys went through on Thursday and to come back strong and play this well against a team like that, what does it say about your team from a mental toughness standpoint?
You know, we're an experienced group. We're a resilient group. And we know we've had confidence all year that we can hang with the best of the best. And we know we can beat them. And unfortunately, we've had a couple, performances that, didn't reflect how good we are against those teams. So it was nice tonight to be able to go and play one of the best teams in the country and be able to take them down on our own floor. And we know how much, that home loss hurt when we were up 11 and we lost that lead. So, it was big motivation for us in this game.
Andy Evans.
Yeah. Hey, Luca, what was it about today that it seemed like whenever Ohio State was able to mount some sort of run, chip away a little bit at your guys' lead, you guys were always able to answer back?
That's something that we, struggled with in a couple games during the stretch in late January, especially against Ohio State. We went up 11, we had a run, and they came back and just they whipped us the rest of the game, and we were able to win that game. And same thing happened against Indiana. We were up by 9 in the second half. So we know what it feels like to not be able to bounce back and give us a punch of our own. But our ability to get stops tonight, even when we were missing shots, that was key. We missed a couple shots to start the half, and they were, credit to them. Ohio State is one of the best offensive teams in the country. It's really hard to guard. So, you know, they're going to hit shots at some point. You got guys like Washington, Arns, Liddell. You know, these guys are best of the best in terms of being able to score the ball. And they did that at high level. So, you know, we just, you know, kept battling back, kept getting the stops when we needed to, and came back with an offense of our own. So, you know, I was really proud of our team tonight, and that's what we're going to need going forward is continued. You know, when a team makes a run, we got to make a run of our own. You know, every team, you know, wants to win. You know, every team's going to have a run in them. So we need to be able to bounce back and punch them back once they punch us.
You know, the fact that they held you to 16 points in your home court, and then you came back and just did what you just did today. I mean, was there just an absolute sense from you like, man, I really want to prove that I am a better player than what they did to me the first time around, if that makes any sense?
Sure. I mean, especially if you look at the 16 points I had, I scored my 16 points with 14 minutes left, and I didn't score the rest of the day. You know, I was playing well, and then they completely took me out of the game down the stretch. So, you know, that's something that motivates me, you know, when I go into a game like this is I want to be able to be consistent, you know, for the whole game. You know, they're a great defensive team. He's a great, you know, Chris Holtman is one of the best coaches in the country. You know, he's going to make adjustments. And he saw that, you know, in that first game that I was able to, you know, be able to score, and he just kind of took me out of the game, made me shoot a lot of jump shots, didn't let me get any touches in the post. So, you know, I knew what I was going up against in terms of a game plan from a coach like that. So, you know, I just had to trust my teammates to be able to face up, you know, try to do whatever I could against the double team when I could. It makes it harder to double when I'm throwing it out of there. And, you know, our guys are hitting shots, and we have some of the best shooters in the country. So, you know, I've tried to get better all season at being comfortable of trying to, you know, pick apart the double teams when they come.
All right. Thanks, Luke. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Todd Bowenkamp.
Luka, what was the key defensively, especially in the second half?
You know, I think our effort. You know, I think there were a couple of times, you know, we turned it over out of bounds, and we're able to get back and stop them. You know, that could have been a breakaway layup. You know, a couple of times they threw it over the top to Liddell. There was one play where Joe T came over and slapped it off his leg. You know, those key plays where our effort was there. And I think, you know, you can't say enough about Keegan Murray's defensive effort in that second half. You know, EJ Liddell was getting whatever he wanted in the first half. He was really doing a good job of scoring a ball, and we tried to do whatever we could to limit him in the second half, and Keegan Murray did a really, really good job of that.
Tom Kakert.
Luka, you just answered my question, but I'll ask another one. The ball movement seemed to be better. The movement without the ball seemed to be better today. What was that a message just after the Michigan game, or did you guys kind of focus on that in some other way?
Yeah, we definitely focused on that. You know, we knew we only had 4 assists against Michigan. You know, we're not a team that only has 4 assists in a game. You know, everyone knows it's not us. So we knew that was an effort of us moving the ball well enough. And Michigan's a really good defensive team, but this is a really good defensive team here too. So we knew we needed to come in tonight, be able to move the ball well and get our shooters open shots, and that would open things up for me. And I think, you know, I took it upon myself to try to, you know, read the defense as best I could and took what they gave me. You know, score when I could, try to get it out of there, and obviously, you know, when I throw the ball out to Connor or Joe T, you know, they can make a hockey pass to another person. I get it, you know, and we're able to score the ball, and that moves the defense a lot and makes it harder for them to double. So, you know, I think I'm just really proud of our guys and the way we moved the ball, but most importantly, you know, when we weren't making shots, the way we got stops, you know, that's huge. You know, that's what we have to do for the rest of the year.
Okay, we'll take a couple more for Luka. David Eichel.
Yeah, Luke, I'm sure it's been a frustrating month for Joe Toussaint just on an individual level. You've seen his play time go down, but it seems like he really came out on a mission today, moved the ball around. I mean, what'd you see about Joe Toussaint today that just made him so effective for you guys?
Joe T's a warrior, and he's a hell of a player. And I think, you know, it's tough, you know, when you come from last year where he was such a huge part of a team, starting guard, doing a lot of good things. And then we have Jordan Bohannon come back. And, you know, that's you know, Jordan Bohannon has been an experienced veteran leader of this team. And I think he's really done a really good job adjusting to that role. He comes in and plays as hard as he can, and he knows, you know, he just needs to go in and just be him, you know, drive the ball to the paint. You know, he's terrific at attacking the defense and getting into that paint and finding people. And you saw that tonight. He had 7 assists and 1 turnover. And his activity defensively, you know, I was just so proud of him. You know, I think the biggest play that I was proud of, you know, that shows how much growth he's had this year is, you know, he tries to he comes off a ball screen, throws a pass to me, and the defender makes a good tap. It taps out to half court. You know, out of nowhere, he runs and dives on that ball and gets a jump ball, and we get the ball back. You know, that's a huge play for our team. You know, and if 3 weeks ago or at the beginning of the season, he might have just went like this, let his head out, and they would have had a layup. But him making that play was huge for us, and it just shows, his toughness and his mental, just ability to go in there and play as hard as he can for the time he gets, and I'm really, really proud of him.
Okay, last question for Luca. Chad Leistico.
Hey, Luca, on the court, what we saw here, the celebration was pretty muted. What is it? What does that represent?
Wait, say it again. I didn't hear you.
It seemed like the celebration on the court that we saw was a little bit, underwhelming. I thought you guys would be jumping up and down, but maybe you saved that for the locker room. And how big a win was this? I guess just in all.
It was a huge win for us, but no, we definitely saved that for the locker room. We were all trying to get in the locker room as fast as we could. And unfortunately, I had to do an interview with CBS, and I was like, dang, but they waited on me, and we had our little celebration. And it's a really good feeling. It's a huge, huge win for our group. To be able to beat a team like that on their home floor, it's impressive for us. And it's huge for us going forward, especially with, seeding in the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament. It's just a huge win for us overall. And we know we just got to keep doing what we're doing and control the things we can control, which is our effort on the defensive end and our ability to move the ball on offense. And when we do that, good things happen. So, I'm really proud of our group tonight.
Great. Appreciate it. Thanks, Luca. Congrats on the win. Okay, we have Coach McCaffery here. If you have a question for Coach McCaffery, please raise your hand in the participant window. Questions for Coach? We'll start with Mike Halas.
And I'm not sure where to begin here, but I guess the obvious story is the defense that for most of the game was so stellar. What do you have to say about it?
Really proud of the guys, Mike. You're right. Number one, the defense was really good. I mean, they made a run at the start of the second half, which you obviously hope doesn't happen, but you have to respect the quality of our opponent. Run is coming at some point. They're too good. But, you look at certain things, Mike, only 2 offensive rebounds, 0 in the second half. We had 8 3-in-a-rows. We were 6 for 6 on 50-50 balls. That I think is indicative of a team that's locked in to what we need to do based on the scouting report information. It's a really good team we just beat. Tremendous respect for this program and what Chris has done. And as a result, just like I said, I'm really proud of our guys and how they perform.
Chad Leistico.
Hi, Fran.
Hey, Chad.
I guess the word resiliency kind of comes to mind in this one. They put up 14 points in the first 6 possessions of the second half, then you just shut them down from there. I guess just what are you most proud of in that second half, how you put them away?
Yeah, I think real simple, Chad. We didn't rattle. Swing hit a couple threes. CJ Walker made a couple pull-ups. We changed defenses. We ran a few things. We tried to settle down. We were quick shooting the ball a little bit. And it's funny because I felt like we're quick shooting the ball, but I didn't feel like we were getting bad shots. And you've seen our teams enough. We tend to quick shoot the ball. If the shot is there and it's a good one, we take it. But I think, working the ball and having some longer possessions and really making sure that we break the defense down, because they're a really good defensive team. And if you don't move the ball, work the ball, and break the defense down, I think it works in their favor. So I was really proud of the guys there.
David Eichel.
Yeah, Fran, can you speak to Keegan Murray's effort on EJ Liddell, especially in that second half? I mean, Liddell had 14 the first half. Seems like Keegan really shoved down that second.
Yeah, I thought Keegan, his defense on EJ Liddell, I think, is one of the better players in our league, was spectacular. But I really liked pretty much everything that Keegan did today. He was on the glass. Even if he missed a shot, nothing lingered on him today. He just kept hooping. But I think his impact on the glass and at the defensive end was a major factor in our ability to win. But he also, I think, scored enough to keep everybody honest, and that's what he does.
Scott Document.
Yeah, Fran, compared to the first game where they shot, I think, 32 3-pointers and made 14, they were 5 of 17 today. How did you adjust from that first game in 3-point defense? And how did those results or the scouting report help you just keep them off the 3-point line?
Well, like I said, in the first game, Scott, it was my fault. We stayed in the zone too long. We didn't play as much zone today, so that helps. But then also, I don't remember the specific number, but a lot of times when you see 14 made threes, some of those are offensive rebound kick-out threes. Their offensive rebound possessions are typically high percentage shots. So the fact that we only gave them 2 for the game and none in the second half, and we played more man, I think that really helped our 3-point defense.
Mike Klas.
You talked about Keegan, but the 3 guys that came off the bench all were vital today. Let's start with Joe. It just seemed like he was a total difference maker in this game. Is knowing that he's going to be counted on just a bit more going to be good for him?
Yeah, I was really impressed with him today, Mike. He played with great pace. And when he does, he impacts the game the way he did today. 7 assists, got to the free throw line. When he tries to force it a little bit, and it's not easy, and we all get it. Sometimes you feel like, I want to play more, so if I do something, I'll stay out here longer. All he needs to do is play defense the way he did today, run our offense the way he did today, and he'll play more. And there's more opportunity now without Jack. Yeah, we have to play a little bit smaller, but Joe's a veteran guy, and we're going to count on him.
Andy Evans.
Fran, you want to talk about, staving them off defensively. What was it about your guys' ability to stave off their runs? More specifically, you guys are up by 14 at the half, and then all of a sudden they chip it down to 2, and then you call a timeout. And from there, that was it. They were never able to regain any sort of momentum that they were able to get there in the second half. What are you telling your guys there during that timeout when they get it down to 2 points there early in the second half?
Well, we did a couple of things there. Number one, it's not time to blame. We missed some shots in that stretch. Yes, they were scoring, but we missed some shots that I felt were good shots. So you don't start, blaming them. That was a bad shot. That was a bad shot. That was a mistake. You give them something offensively and you give them something defensively. So we changed the defense. One of our zones was better than the other one. And then we went back to the man. But, there's a lot of time left. We're not panicking. We got a veteran group. Let's work the ball. So it went from 2 to 4 to 6. Then all of a sudden, you look up and you're up 9 or 11 and all that work and they're still down, essentially double digits and you're under 10 minutes, that's what a veteran team has to do. You can't panic there because all of a sudden it goes from 14 to 2 and then all of a sudden you're down 7, completely different game. So I thought our guys really handled the pressure of the situation well and, kind of stayed with the game plan and believed in each other. At some point, you got to believe in the guy that's lining up next to you, and I think they did that.
And it just seemed like your guys answered the bell each and every time. Whenever Ohio State put a run together, you guys answered back. What is it about your group that makes them so good with answering that kind of bell?
Well, I think it starts with, with our senior leaders. But the timeouts were very positive. And I'm not just talking about what I'm saying. I say something, but the guys talk in a timeout. And oftentimes what they say to each other is way better than anything that I say. And I thought Garza in particular, Connor, Wieskamp, Bohannon, that veteran core right there, they never panicked. There was no panic. They were encouraging each other, confident coming out of the timeout. And I think we saw the result.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
We got time for 2 more questions for Coach. First one, Tom Kakert.
Hey, Fran. You guys hit on a lot of my questions, but I'll just ask this one. How important is a win like this in late February going into March, the most important month of college basketball? Can it be like a springboard for you guys going into this month?
I think so, Tom. I mean, you hope so. I just feel like today we played, pretty much a complete game, and that's how you want to be this time of year. Okay, they had a run, but that's part of, you're playing the 4th-ranked team on the road. They're going to do some good things, but how does your team respond? And I think we responded in a real positive way. So it's great to have a performance like this, but now you got to turn around and do it again. It's not like you can relax in any way. I mean, Nebraska's playing really well. Won the last game. They won 2 recently. They've been in every game. And so we're just really kind of focused on that one right now.
Okay, last question for Coach, Chad Leistico.
I realize you might laugh at me for this, but do you think it's the way you guys move the ball in the half court? Do you think it's beneficial without Jack to maybe play at a slightly slower pace the way you move the ball tonight? I mean, could that be part of the plan going forward?
Well, I think we did a good job tonight of really pushing it in transition and then moving it side to side, which is, it's quite honestly, Chad, it's the game plan every time we take the floor. It doesn't matter what lineup, if we're small, if we're big. Jack's a guy who can stretch the floor and make threes, and he's a really good passer. So it really doesn't change things, and he's a running big. So we're still going to run. We're still going to try to probe the defense early, and then sometimes you score early and you score late. And I thought we did a good job of understanding which one to do today.
Okay, appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks,
Safe to
guys.
be home. Our final student athlete will be Jordan Bohannon, who became Iowa's all-time assist leader with his assist total today. Congrats on the win, Jordan.
Thank you.
Congrats on the record, and we will start with, well, anybody have any questions?
I'll go.
David Eichelt.
Yeah, Jordan, you guys said before heading into this game that Ohio State kind of got away from you the first time. You guys held them to 57 points in their third best offense, according to Ken Palm. I mean, how were you guys able to really lock down defensively?
I think knowing what we've done the past few games defensively, we've kind of raised our standard of, realizing that we can be a really great defensive team. And I think the fact we started playing a little more man has given us a lot of confidence. And I think our man defense has been phenomenal lately. And it's been a big reason why we've been able to, pull out these wins and hold these opponents to such low scores. I think if we keep the energy up like we have and what we've been able to do on defensive end, our offense is even better than, what it has been.
Tom Kakert.
Jordan, you've always said that the assist record matters more to you than anything else. What did it feel like? Did you realize it in the moment? And, kind of what does it feel like to hold that record now?
Yeah, obviously knew I was really close and I didn't end up getting it in Michigan, but, for some reason I thought I was going to get it at a point where, we're going to win a big game. And I was able to be at Ohio State, a place I haven't won yet, and a team that's, predicted to be a top, seed in the entire NCAA tournament. So I think the fact that it was able to have that happen in this kind of game, means a lot to me, and knowing that we got the win is most important. But, just think about all the years that I played in college and the amount of people I played with, phenomenal, players and teammates and lifelong friends. It's been pretty surreal just looking back, and truly blessed for the position I've been put in, and Coach McCaffery giving me the chance that, not a lot of people in the entire country thought that I could even play at this level. And I was able to, try to succeed and do whatever I can once I got here. And, I'm just trying to live up to my last name, I guess you could say, because my brothers definitely put a lot of pressure on me, but, my parents raised me right and did everything I could to, excel at this level, and I'm doing the best I can.
Mike Halas.
Jordan, such a short turnaround from Michigan, and I'm sure that was a sorrowful trip home, but how did you guys, flush that and get into the kind of mode that you were in today?
Well, we for sure didn't listen to the Twitter coaches. That's for damn sure. But for one, I think we just went to work. We put our head down, and we realized Michigan was a good team, and I think it was a tie game going into 10 minutes in the second half. I mean, we played really great basketball for close to 30 minutes of that game, but we let that slip away. There's that little run in the middle of the second half where they got transition baskets. We turned it over a couple of times, but I mean, we were right there with them, and we knew that we were right there with Ohio State. We were up pretty much the entire game when we played them at home. So, I mean, the teams that we've beaten this year, we know we still have that confidence, realizing that we're one of the top teams in the country still. And we truly believe that as long as we continue to defend and be active on the defensive end, and our offense will always take care of itself.
Chad.
Sorry. What was your favorite moment of the second half today?
Well, I think at the end of the game, that was pretty memorable. But I think the best moment of the second half was when they made the run. I know this is going to sound silly, but they made a run in the beginning of the second half, and we knew at some point they were going to make that run, and that happened to be the very first couple minutes of the second half. And after they made that run, we all came together and said, we have to continue to stay together, and realize that we still have a lot of work to do if we want to win this game. And I think that was really telling of our character of this team, that, we let a lead slip away a little bit, but, we put our head back down and continue to stay together, and did everything we could to pull that out tonight.
Scott Docterman.
Yeah, Jordan, I mean, what's this win mean in context? I mean, in a big picture, you've, came off that loss to Michigan. A loss today could have spilled over a little bit confidence-wise, but a win like this, kind of propels you going forward and erases what happened in Michigan. What's the big picture implications of a win like this?
It just shows the type of character we have. Maybe my sophomore year, we would have just fold over when they made that run in the second half and totally lost the lead. And if we lost against Michigan, it could have been a 3-game skid where we lose and end up, possibly not getting this double bye. But, I've been through a lot of experiences. Luka's been through it. Weezy's been through it. CJ's been through it. We have so many. Connor's been through it. Our entire starting lineup and guys coming off the bench. We have so many guys that can step up at different moments of the game, and they understand, what it takes to pull out a special win like this. And I think that's what's going to be really important going down the stretch, especially, postseason play, that we have guys that are vets and understand how to play basketball and continue to play together no matter what happens on the floor. And I think that's what, was really telling about this win tonight.
Tom, we got time for 3 more. Tom Kakert.
Jordan, kind of a silly question, but why'd you guys go with the gold uniforms? And is that going to be kind of the thing for you guys moving forward, in kind of road venues or neutral sites?
To be honest, I opened my bag up this morning to go to shoot around, and I saw the gold jersey in there. I didn't even know we were wearing gold jerseys, so that was a nice little surprise. I love the jerseys. I always love switching it up. I think it's super cool. Playing on national television and the scripted Iowa jerseys. It kind of is a little throwback to the old days, and a lot of our role models that played that are Iowa alum. And I think that's really cool just to understand that the kind of gravity that it holds just putting on that Iowa jersey. It is kind of silly thinking about it, but it's really true just thinking about these cool jerseys that we have. And, you tend to think about the people that played before you.
Josh Christensen.
Hey, Jordan, I've kind of been back and forth in the studio, so I apologize if this has already been asked, but what did it mean to you to pass Jeff Horner on the all-time career assists board? And was that somebody that you looked up to as a Hawkeye fan growing up? You talked earlier about those gold uniforms and looking up to guys that, you had looked up to growing up.
Yeah, it's truly a blessing. I can't even put into words, my emotions right now, just thinking about, the kind of players that I passed on that list. Jeff Horner was an absolute role model for myself growing up. I wanted to be like Jeff Horner when I was, a little kid and shooting in the backyard. And, he reached out to me about a week and a half ago. And as I was getting closer to the assist record and having a guy like that and, being so, open to reaching out to me and wishing me the best throughout my career, I think that has been really, really special for myself and just a true blessing. I can't put in words, but wouldn't happen without these phenomenal teammates. I would not be able to get any of these assists without all these guys I played with.
Okay, one final question, Andy Evans.
Yeah. Hey, Jordan, maybe you already answered this, and I apologize if I'm asking it again, but what was it about today, the fact that whenever Ohio State seemed to chip into your lead, they seemed to come back a little bit, you guys always had an answer? What was it that drove you guys really to perform at the level that you guys did today?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of two things. For one, knowing what's at stake tonight. If we lost that game, it's telling them where our seeding is going to end up in the Big Ten tournament. I mean, we might drop and lose that double bye. Knowing how crazy this year been, a couple teams not playing a couple games, and we knew there's a lot at stake here. And also 3 things technically, and also other thing, and knowing what it's going to take to make a deep run in the tournament, and we need a signature win like this. And that was, we've had a lot of good wins, but we haven't had a great win on the road, and this was finally a great win on the road against a really great basketball team. I have a lot of respect for Coach Holtman, everything that he's been able to do at this university. And thirdly, just the experiences that we've had on this team. I've been through a lot. Luka's been through a lot. All the starting lineup has been through experiences and experienced the highs and lows of basketball and life. And I think we've really came together again tonight and realized that, we're not going to let a lead slip away. We're going to do what we can to, secure this win. And that's what we did tonight.
And the fact that you guys still have 2 games left, you got one against Nebraska, night game, and then you've got kind of a crazy game against Wisconsin. That's a very, very early game for you guys. What is going to be your preparation for these next 2 games, especially, ending the season against a big arch rival like Wisconsin in such an early game?
Man, I love it. It's kind of, thinking back to my, past 4 years, it's kind of almost preparing us for this postseason play, playing almost, late night on a Thursday and then playing early on a Sunday. I mean, it's something that's going to prepare us for postseason play. And I think it's going to end up, helping us in the end. And, Nebraska's playing really well. Wisconsin wants revenge on us. This is Big Ten basketball. This is what we signed up for. And we love it. And we can't wait to, get back out there and play.
All right, Jordan, appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Jordan. Safe travels home.
Appreciate it.
As far as media availability for this week, it will be Tuesday prior to the Thursday game against Nebraska. Not sure on a time yet. It might be 1:45, but it'll be somewhere between 1:45, 2 o'clock. I'll let everybody know via email tomorrow.